Hi, my name is Dillon Fitch. I'm the co-director of Bicycling Plus Research Collaborative at ITS Davis. And the Research Collaborative has grown since the beginning of 2019 across many centers and institutes at UC Davis. But really it spans much further than 2019. UC Davis has been doing bike research for 40 plus years. And as you all are aware, Davis is the bicycling community in the United States. So the Bicycling Plus Research Collaborative is trying to showcase that rich history of bicycling research and make sure that it has we communicate to policymakers the importance of bicycling and now emerging micromobility services and their role for transportation sustainability. You can see from our website that our bicycling scholarship has risen dramatically in the past decade, and this is something that's not just unique to Davis. So bicycling research across the world has risen dramatically, and so there's clearly a recognition that bikes should be playing a role in our transportation systems of the future. And so at the Bicycling Research Collaborative, the idea is that we are collecting existing research related to bikes, but we're also pushing new ideas and boundaries for the role of bikes and scooters in our transportation system. So this includes researchers from design, includes researchers in ethnographic studies, research and engineering, urban planning, economics. It's really, as our name implies, it's a real rich collaboration across disciplines. We span projects on the behavioral side of bicycling, but also on the highly technical side of biomechanics as well. So there's really this broad consortium of research on these disciplines. So today I'm going to talk about a study that we're doing on the Dockless e-bike share in the GreaterSacramento region. And this is pre-pandemic. So at Davis, we know that bicycling can be a normal mode of transportation because it is. But in many cities across the United States and in the Sacramento region, bicycling is still rare. So one way cities are trying to increase the use of bikes as a mode of travel is to offer a bike share service. These can be owned and operated by cities and regions or owned and operated by private providers. So the bike share that we're studying is an Uber-owned Jump bikes. This is prior to pandemic, before Uber sold Jump to Lime. And this is a Dockless, meaning it can be parked anywhere, free-floating electric bike share. They really sought to understand how this bike share is influencing travel behavior in the region. We started this study way back in 2016, where we surveyed a random group of residents in Sacramento, West Sacramento, and Davis, which is where the bike share is operating. And then the Jump service arrived in summer of 2018. And after that, we surveyed users of the service in the fall of 2018 and spring of 2019. And then in spring of 2019, we also surveyed a random sample of residents again. So this gives us a nice look at how the bike share could influence attitudes in travel more generally at the population level, and also more specifically at people who actually are using the service. So what did we learn? Well, we learned that residents bike and drive at similar rates before and after bike share. So this suggests that perhaps at a population level, the bike share doesn't have much of an effect on travel behavior. But we did learn that some travel attitudes were different before and after bike share. So for example, respondents to the statement, bicycling is a normal mode of transportation for adults in my community, saw a strong increase or a much stronger percent agreement after bike share. And the statement, I need my car to do many of the things I like to do, we saw a much stronger disagreement with that statement after bike share. So this suggests that the bike share may have an important role in changing attitudes about travel. Specifically for UC Davis campus travelers, we saw that awareness of what an e-bike was jumped from about 43% to 75% after the bike share. And consideration of an e-bike as a commute mode went from about 21% to 30%. So this also suggests that bike share, especially e-bike share, can have other positive effects about introducing new travel options to people, specifically in this case, electric bicycles. The same might be said of electric scooters, although we haven't studied that yet. What else did we learn? We learned that people rarely use bike share to connect to transit, but that bike share trips are correlated with transit ridership. So we have kind of this competing hypotheses about the role of bike share in transit connections in the Sacramento region. We learned that about 35% region replace ride-hail and car trips. And through some modeling, we determined that it's approximately 2,500 vehicle miles reduced per day for this 900 bike share service. This does not include operational vehicle miles traveled, just the users themselves. A small subset of regular bike share users are commuters by the service, but really what we've discovered is that restaurants, bars, and entertainment establishments are the most common destination used by people of the bike share. And again, this is pre-pandemic. About 10% of bike share trips are induced travel, so this suggests that the bike share is increasing physical activity for these users, and also increasing local business activity, so since restaurants, bars, and entertainment establishments are the most common destination. So why do we study bike share, and why is it important? Well, we know from other data sources that in the US, many people make many short trips every day in their car, and these trips are reasonable bike, e-bike, and e-scooter distances. So the shift from these car trips to these other less impactful modes has great potential. And micromobility services, or one-way micromobility services, are really just one option for reducing these car trips. Behavioral studies like this can help inform policies and business practices to make these services, viable. And also, it's not just about the services. So some of the things we've learned in this study about how bike share is changing attitudes and awareness of e-bikes, bike share and scooter share services can have other lasting effects on transportation sustainability. Thank you very much, and if you'd like to learn more about what we're studying at Bicycling Plus, please visit our website.